This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
We are TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio. When you finally boil it all down, magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Heist Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. Shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. What is up, everybody? I'm your host, Frank Castle, your sorcerer supreme for Saturday nights, and I'm here with my etherical translator, Paula Milo.
Hey, everyone.
So, big shout out to Chris and Cherie. We love you guys. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here doing this. And we love you guys. Everybody in the chat room, shout outs to you guys. Want people who are listening, perhaps you'd like to sign up to TFR, get all the past shows, lots of audio, lots of information, lots of truth in this frequency. Get the app, right? People love the app.
Yeah, you can get the app, you can get a subscription, there's something for everyone.
Do you know what I did the other night? Listen to what I did. I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell everyone what I did. I walked into a room full of dudes, and everybody was hanging out, sitting down, all relaxed. And they said, "Oh, yeah, you do your show, right? Yeah. What do you do?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, well, you can just bust it out." I whipped out my phone. I got a Note 3, so it's huge. It looks like a brick. And they're like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Well, this is the Truth Frequency Radio app, right? Look," and I'm right there on it.
You did that. You should have had someone record it.
Yeah, that's even more cheesy. But there were so many of them, and I had, when people talk and the room gets quiet?
Yeah.
I'll pull that out of my pocket and go, check this out, right? And then
awesome.
Yeah. And it's like all eyes right on me. Oh, I'm not afraid of what everybody's looking at. You guys got your attention? Check this out. And they freaked out. They were like, awesome. How'd you do that? I said, well, it's what we do, Shout outs to Chris and Cherie again. Making it so easy. I did it right there. I guess you guys could start. Apparently there's a little drinking thing every time I so that one's on me. That's the first shout out of the night, I guess. Shout outs to Michael Britt.
Yes. Thank
you so much for your support. I love you, buddy. People have been reaching out from all over the world.
Yeah.
And I could never, it hurts to say certain words now. Like, it's never fan. It's never fan of the show. It's friend and it's family. Mm-hmm. Like, I love this part. The people that I'm meeting are on another level. You guys, I absolutely love you guys and gals. There's something about people that are waking up and that kind of are in on this side of the fence.
Right. That are seeking like-minded people out.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I have to agree. That's my favorite part too. I was out to dinner the other night with a couple of friends, and we don't speak about the show. They don't care to know that I do the show. And one friend asked me if I was still doing that show with Frank, and she laughed. And I had to not react the way I wanted to, and I had to take a step back, and I had to say, okay, we have to agree.
Wait. She laughed in your face?
She laughed.
Wait, how?
She laughed
Wait,
right at me.
I would just for everybody. How did she laugh in your face? Was it like the way I would like aha?
No,
Like,
it was a chuckle. Like, oh, you and Frank still doing that stupid thing you do.
oh my God,
And
lowercase g.
Yeah, I didn't react, and I have to.
How did you hold that one down? Because I'm thinking high cross body across the table, perhaps flying elbow block to the face, head to the soup.
No, I have to respect her.
No, I completely understand.
You know, I don't. You know, Frank and I aren't in the supermarket going, hey, does anyone know about ayahuasca? You know, we're not peddling door to door information, but we love the opportunity to get the word out. We love the opportunity to get our stories out, and people are being touched by that, and people are contacting us and sharing their own stories. And you know, Frank got a lovely note from Michael,
Mike.
Yeah, Michael, and it was just a beautiful note. And
it was just awesome, and the support for the show, the people on the show, our personal matters behind the scenes are connecting across the board.
Yeah.
Like when you inspire someone, there's, I try not to overthink this, but I know what they showed me, and what they showed me is coming true. And it's almost like all you have to do is follow the path and it'll work. And so many times you fall off the path. You don't follow it. You just kind of slide off and you miss the people and the interactions.
Right.
You know, you're not looking up and ahead into the eyes of the people around you, thus missing the possible connections and the experiences. The internet has brought us all together. So now that we're all connecting.
Oh, I'm just checking it because Chris in the chat room saying my audio sounds low.
Okay, we'll just boost that up a little bit.
Oh, so just let me know if it sounds better. Someone.
Absolutely. So, I don't even know where to start. I know this is part 2
of the discussion
of the Shiva discussion from last week. I have a ton of information, but I want to share an experience that happened this week.
Okay.
And when you're going to do something as big as unlock your mind or see the other side, there are certain
you mean through ceremony, right?
Through ceremony, you have to explain. It's almost like you're a doctor, right? So you have to tell the doctor what you're doing, what's wrong with you.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
But I don't try to get too much into that, because then you become a therapist of some kind, where the plant medicine is the therapy. I'm just there to board it up. Yeah. So this is the conversation that went down. Now, me and you, I was laughing about this before. So do you smoke cigarettes? You ever smoke anything before?
No, never.
You never smoked anything?
No, never, nothing.
No joints, no.
Nope.
Okay. Are you on any medication?
Nope. Nothing.
I mean, like, this is so important. The traveling and the this and the that. Okay. You sure you're not on anything?
Nope, no medication.
All right. That sounds good. So let me show you how this works. So then I proceed to pull out the ceremonial peace pipe, spend what felt like an eternity teaching how to use it, just to have the whole experience go down, and the person sit up and look at me and say, "Make this stop, please. How do we make this stop?" And I said, "You don't. You ride this one out." Right? And then let's just jump to the after effect, because this is what's the important. This is not it's what people are doing to other people. This is the point of the whole story, and especially for stuff like this. When you travel like this and you're on any medication, it will change the outcome infinitely in the worst directions.
Because it prevents the plant medicine from doing its job.
Right. Basically fights it. It's like a battle. Now, after the experience, because I said you have to ride this out. There's nothing you can do. I say, well, did it work? Nope, nothing happened. Nothing happened, nothing at all. And I'm like, how did nothing happen? I was just sitting there and it was working on me, just sitting next to you, inhaling what was just around. You took all this in. It was, some people, they say you have to take 3 giant monster hits. I agree, 3 giant monster hits. But if you're going to hit it like a baby, right? So you're going to take 6. But are you on any medication?
Nope, no medication.
No, you're not on any medication. Well, you were smoking that weird. Are you sure you never smoked? And then to hear this immediately afterwards, well, that was surprising considering I smoked cigarettes for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
But I told you that, didn't I? And I go, no.
No, you said you'd never smoked.
And then, this just sounds like complaining, I know, but it's not. You come out and say, no, are you sure you're not on anything? Or like, because the migraine conversation came up. Well, I have migraines constantly, so I take whatever
migraine medication.
So I can't, okay. And so I can't not take the medication. And I'm like, okay, but you said you weren't on anything.
Right. So that would fall into the medications category.
Well, that falls into the medication blocking the blood-brain barrier in your brain.
Absolutely. But it's just the whole thing was just,
So these are
there was no transparency. There was very little honesty.
So my point to this is you can't lie about yourself. You have to be true to who you are, or this is what I was told the next day, because I was told 100 times, you were told 100 times. Nothing happened, really. Nothing happened. I just saw Frank. That's all I saw was Frank. Right. I'm like, well, what I saw was someone black in and out and then asked me to make it stop and then laying back and then 4 minutes later just sitting up and going like, nope, nothing happened. Nope. The next day, I get the giant message. Well, I don't think it was meant to happen yesterday due to all these ridiculous reasons. And I'm like, what happened to you? Well, I left my body and everyone was there. And I said, no way, make this stop, and forced it back. But now, prior to the arrival of this person, the room, we have an infrared camera in the house now because we have to. It's
like a nanny cam. We check the cats with it.
Yeah, no, it's also to see what's going on in the night vision.
Yeah.
Right? So we wanted to put this to the test, see what would happen. I think it was like 4 hours prior to her arrival. Was that when you first started seeing things, or was it the day before?
No, it might have been like a half hour before she got
there. All right, we had it set up, and it was during the day with everything closed. And this room was filling with orbs.
White orbs. White, beautiful orbs going in every direction.
And Paula was very excited when this occurred because she was actually she was snapping shots of it, getting things flying around. We were testing to see if it was dust or if light was streaking by somehow, but they were coming in threes, right?
Right, in groups. And again, I can only see this on the monitor. I can't see this in real life because I don't see anything that Frank sees.
Well, from my point of view, I can tell there's something here, a bunch of things. Mm-hmm. It's very confusing sounding to me.
It is.
Right, and they're flying around the room, and I knew right away they were disembodied consciousnesses, and a lot of other things too. There was over 100 different things in the room. They were little
wisps, white orbs. Yeah,
for me, it was hard.
Activity.
Yes, lots of activity. Yeah. For me, it became a little bit hard to breathe.
Yeah, it was hard. It was a little rough.
And I could hear them constantly.
Yeah.
All right, towards the end of this person staying here, I said, they were saying, haha, you're never, she's never going to see this. Like she tried, nah, we're not going to let her. We're going to keep her right kind of where she is. She's fine. Now she has the ability to do what most of us do that are unlocking. She can see them. She can talk to them meaning others. Anything out of your 3D, two eyeballs just looking right at it. Your third eye being open. Some people just have it. This was an older person as well. And these beings were exploiting her in her fear, because the home life, which comes out from the shaman finding out more after.
Yeah, just a very stressful home life.
So stressful, but in the darkness, she's warm because there's a black portal. And
she said she had a black portal.
And the goddess Frigga came out and said, all these things are coming out to protect you and all this. But do you feel protected? Well, I feel safe in the darkness. But are you always miserable and in the darkness? And oh, yes, but I'm absolutely fine. But it feels like the burden of the world is on me, and I just can't escape it. So I said, do you think for 1 second that these other beings are not who they say they are? Because I think I said this the first show or around they told me to stop playing in dirty tunnels, the black and brown portals. I didn't understand what that meant until I was on the other side and I saw you can portal down into darkness. And they're like, you don't know what's there.
No.
So the colors of your chakra systems, right? The portals will be in those colors as well. I've seen them in white light as well. I've seen golden ones. It's very safe to travel in. You're not supposed to be externally traveling. You're supposed to be traveling within through yourself and all that to maintain.
I never see any of that.
Well, that's what makes it safe. But to have someone saying, no, a portal is open in my bedroom and I see it. And I said, well, what color is it? No, it's completely black and these things are just flying in. But I was hearing names like Baldur, right? I'm like, so let me look this guy up. All these characters from back in the day. It's almost like if someone read an old whimsical novel or something or book about these things, and then these beings pretending to be those characters. Because I'm like, these characters are kind of not real. So they are, but they're not. It depends, I guess, how you look at it. But
they're toying with
any being, so people are like, well, how do you know what to do? Here's a person not using discernment at all. Just thinking, well, in the darkness, these things are here to protect me.
Right.
And it's the goddess Frigga. Well, what are they taking from you and what are they asking of you? Well, they say they love me and they want to help me. Well, do they ever help you, though? Cricket. Mm-hmm. Exactly. What do they actually make you do? Well, they sit with me in the dark. Like, it sucks all the time. And then it starts coming out of the person. And you're like, wait, are you all right? And then you see it. I'm hearing, we're never going to let you see it. No. I said, what did you see? She said, wow, there was hundreds of people, beings, waiting for me. And as I was launching through to them, I went, no way. I said, okay, so you said no to the beings that are around you all the time. Why would you do that? Like, you're not supposed to be afraid. You have the power. What's the problem? Oh, you saw the beings, perhaps. Maybe your discernment went off when you saw them, but you couldn't understand it. But now you're also leaving these things here, and they're speaking to me, and I'm the shaman, and they're laughing at me. They're like, she'll never believe you. We're her best friends. Right. The seed that I planted was, there were some dark ones the first day.
Yes.
I got so sick.
Yes.
I threw up 3-4 times. I don't like describing it, but it was, didn't I tell you a stick came out of me? Yes. There was a 2-inch stick that popped out. Now, I hadn't eaten anything with stick-wise. There's no way I'm putting sticks in my mouth and swallowing them. This thing could have injured you and stabbed you on the way down, right? So it came right up, and it was surrounded in the ugliest yellow. And I was going, I'm going to take this and keep it and show Paula, but that's disgusting, so I'm not going to. And I just kept purging and purging. And I'm like, what is going on? And like you said, when you were in the shower, what happened?
Oh yeah, they were taunting me. They were telling me we're gonna get you, and I'm like, they're not gonna get
Now
me.
it sounds funny when she does it, like, oh, they're gonna get you, but when you hear it, they're dead serious.
Yeah, they like we're here. We're gonna get you.
Like, you have no choice. We're gonna do this to you.
Yeah.
Now I was in the bathroom. I washed up after I was going number 1, number 2, number 3.
You were truly purging.
And I'm going, what is happening? And you started saying, I think you're purging for her.
Yes.
Because that's.
Yes,
because
then little Squeaky Doodle started.
Oh yeah, that's what every one of the cats.
Were purging for her.
You kept going. Every time I go in the bathroom, I got to clean the cat litter. What's wrong with you guys? All right, so if this stuff happens, guys, I know these are weird stories, and take them, do what you want with them. They're interesting, but this is what's going on when you focus on the stuff around you.
Oh yeah, so then we kept checking the monitor. Days after her leaving.
I started cleaning the house, and then we started looking
things like that, and now they're nothing.
It went from
hundreds.
Yo, it looked weird, guys. Guys, you've seen this before on YouTube. People just showing video of it.
It looked like falling snow.
Yeah,
I mean, it was amazing.
And there was literally, we made sure the fans were off, everything was clear. And then it would just start. Yeah. And then you go, oh, there's one. It looked like a shooting star. Oh, maybe that's a bug in the whoa. And then
I got a snapshot of one.
I didn't save it, and this is why I didn't want to mention it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
No. We could tell them, but then I feel like we can't prove it. That was a provable one. Yeah, and then we just loaded the camera, and there was 100 windows open, and I went close all sessions.
That's all right. That's all right. So
it looked like the outline of a face.
Yeah, it was like it looked like the profile of a face.
Very weird. And without the camera for that one, there was a flash in the room, which was really weird. If you shut the lights off and you clear up and meditate, you think you're seeing things sometimes. And you're like, what is that? What is that? It's always out of the corners of your eyes. When I went on the other side, I saw a being standing directly in front of us, and you can't see them. And I was going, what are they doing? And they're like, do you find that funny? Because they find it hysterical that they could just stand right in front of you.
And you can't see them.
Yeah, you can't. It's when you just keep it on the side, like just you can still focus on your side perception.
Yeah. You look through the corners of your eye.
Right. You can see them.
Yeah.
It has something to do with the way your eye is set up.
Yes, I agree.
And they laugh at that. So this lady had that and all more. Plus good things. Things just mix. You're lighting the way. You're in the darkness, because first there was darkness, right? Then there was light. The light was in, okay. If you're not protected and you're just walking around, and there's things out there, there's things everywhere.
Oh yeah, they could very easily attach to you.
As above, so below. Even on the microscopic things, things live on your skin, and then inside that, it looks like another universe. Inside that, it just goes.
It's what frequency you're vibrating at. That's what you're going to pick up.
And we're symbiotic with many things, and all demonic entities. They want to either be in you, be on you. They want to. Yeah, listen.
That sounds dirty.
It sounds dirty, but you know what's funny? When I learned about demonic possession, they were like, let's show. I want to show you people that, and this is a little off topic, but people that are really like a demon cannot affect me, right? And then they'll drink a shot of Jack Daniels, and they punch them, like the person next to them. And then I'm like, how did that happen? Did he drink it in? Like, what's in there? And they go,
what you did. You drank it in.
It's the spirits inside the liquor. Then I was going, that's pretty interesting. Then they showed people having sex that were like safe, and then they started having sex, and the demon went in from the other person. They attached to the other person's weak point and get in through the fluids. And I would have never believed any of that stuff. I told the story about how I was touched on the leg and it branched off across my knee, that black gooey stuff. And I had to spend an entire ayahuasca session, and I couldn't help the person I was with. I had to take care of myself, which was really odd. And if I didn't, it could have affected me more.
And this is exactly why I got laughed at dinner the other night. This is exactly why. But I love it, so it's okay.
I love it too. Listen, this is the reality. People, I have cousins, family members, they come around and they'll go, oh, the show. They'll hang out, an hour? They won't want to leave. And then everything is like, they either want to hear more of the story. The ones that think you're crazy, just walk away. but there's groups of yous in and out of those groups that just, they'll text me quietly, hey, when you want to hang out? All right. Someone will grab me and go, hey, I got a joint. You want to puff with me? And I got everybody in the car. We just happen to be here. And then everyone that would be down to listen to that quick conversation would just be standing right there. I told you the other day I went for a walk and I just happened to bump into a kid carrying a pizza. All I did was make a mention of a joke and then the heist, and it came back to me. And he was like, oh, I needed to meet you. My cousin worked with you, and it helped him with pills. And
Shaman.
And I the age difference went from 45 to 19. And I thought to myself, wow. And he was like, yo, you help. That worked. And I'm like, yeah, well, you really have no idea until you take the fearless steps forward. They don't have to be the way I do it. It could be the way you do it. It could be at any pace. There is no wrong way to do anything. I've been coping with they've been showing me that nothing's good or evil. It just is. Right? And then you guys react to it. It's then your response to it is what. Yeah, they were saying, you should think in terms of light and dark instead of good and bad. It'll help you with that. And I'm still working on that. That's one that they hit me really hard with. But yeah. And I just did it again. So I forgot to say this. I'm gonna be on the Paranormal Portal tonight with Brent Thomas at 1 o'clock New York City time to 3 a.m. And we're gonna be talking all kinds of paranormal craziness. I have a lot of stories that we haven't discussed yet, and Halloween's here, and I think it might be time to tell some of the ghost stories, and it'll be pretty interesting. Then Paula would be your protection from deception. We'll be right back, and we're going to get right into Shiva. That didn't sound right. We'll be right back.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Am I awake or is this a dream? A fantasy where I'd rather be. So come and talk with me. Come and walk with me. Is this a wake-up call from my reality? Have you seen my friends? Have you seen my girl? Wake me up from this. I'm trapped in this world.
Yeah, some of the beings, whatever they are, like to go mano a mano with you. I'm just reading in the chat room. You don't do that. When the darkness invites a challenge, you don't accept it. What you just say is no, go away. Keep it simple, because it will lead you down that rabbit hole every time. Honestly, in your body, they're way smarter than all of us. Outside of your body, you're so much smarter than all of them.
Oh, yeah.
But the contracts are made in your body.
Yeah, the contracts are already made. The entity that was bullying me in the shower, after I had thought about it for a few days, I told you, it brought me back to a fear of when I was in the 5th grade. I saw a scary movie in the 5th grade, and my sister had to sit in the bathroom with me while I took a shower. My sister was younger than me, but I just needed someone in the bath. So they were playing on old fears. And I could have very easily gotten sucked into it, but I told it, no, you're not welcome here, and my protection is on, and you need to leave.
I'll go over the protections once again. Gold, the color gold, surrounding your body like a force field, 2 inches off your body. After that, it's the violet flame. Right? You just ask for the violet flame. It's violet, the color violet, right? It goes over the gold and around your body, and then either green or blue. You'll know at that time what is needed. You can ask for a cloak after that. The cloak will it's like putting the hood over your head, and it's like the universe will bend around you to make you a little bit invisible so other beings won't notice you there. If you're being attacked often, you might be shining a lot brighter than you ever thought, because naturally they keep you in a low state. So put up the shields and then see how you feel. And I know this sounds so weird, but it's all energy. Get over it. It's energy. It's how it works. Two things really quick. If you like any of the music you hear on the show, check out my group Heist Click, HeistClick. We're everywhere. Just type it in. Check it out. And I got to give you my disclosure, which I completely forgot. And I have to do this every time because people will take me uber seriously.
Yeah, extremely literally. And
they might hurt themselves. So I give a disclaimer. This is how I do it. I'm not here to tell you exactly how to do it. I'm just telling you about my experiences. Okay? This is my story, and it's a story of my journey and my journey alone. I don't suggest you try this at home alone. That is, unless you are ready. Then by all means, proceed. But first, we suggest finding a reputable shaman who knows what he or she is doing, and travel safe in the love and the light. And remember, the universe rewards bravery. Oh my, does it reward bravery.
Yes, it does.
Funny thing, these entities like Shiva, they teach lessons that are so necessary. It was, we were in the break. Everything in this house all day has been Shiva stuff, right? So the music, then just listening to the chanting Om Nah Shiva. And he's sitting behind me, and he whispers in my ear, teach them.
Yes, because he was answering a chat room question.
I was looking at the chat room question, and I'm like, you could defend. Oh, you can see like I can see. I'm like, everybody here wants to see like I see, but you can do it. You just have to. And then he whispered to me, and then I went, oh, you just have to Om Nah Shiva. Like, you have to get into the chant. I guess we'll go right into this one first.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Well, check it out. The chant Om Nah Shiva, it allows you the ability to unlock your chakras. People think that it's worshiping a deity of some kind. I have to wear my glasses for this. My apologies. Om Nah Shiva is a hymn dedicated to Lord Shiva. It roughly translates to I bow to Shiva. That's in English.
And I don't think it really means I bow. I think it means I revere.
Yeah, I revere, I respect you. Because beings that want something, like they were taking from the lady, like they were like, no, we got her here, and we sit alone in the dark. No, that's no good. Beings like Shiva use discernment. I'll teach you if you'll be my student. Okay, don't stand this way, stand that way, or sit this way. Now chant this. I found out about Shiva through Shiva. He's the one. It was funny, too, because I was talking to Brent from the Paranormal Portal, and he's like, well, how do you know all this? How did you learn any of this? And I'm like, they show up and teach me. And he laughed, and he was like, but this is how it works. I went out and I found this because I'm like, I don't know the language. Like, I need to understand. And then it started unlocking something in me.
Yeah.
All right. Om Nah Shiva is a hymn dedicated to the Lord Shiva, roughly translating to I bow. Om Nah Shiva is made up of 5 syllables, exclusive of the preceding syllable Om, the O-M. The 5 syllables in this mantra are Namah Shivaya, respectively. When the 5 syllables within the Om Nah Shiva are uttered, the 5 energy chakras get activated in correspondence with the utterance. When Na is uttered, the earth chakra is activated. When Ma is uttered, the water chakra is activated. When Shi is uttered, the fire chakra is activated. When Va is uttered, the air chakra is activated. When Ya is uttered, the ether chakra is activated. The syllable Na represents the gross body. Ma refers to the prantic body. Shi stands for the mental body. Va refers to the intellectual body, and the Ya represents the blissful body. All things of these nature, they all have to be in correspondence with each other to get this thing going. So chanting Om Nah Shiva can help you to overcome weakness, free oneself from sins, and achieve spiritual and overall progress in life. Chanting this mantra daily in accordance with the activation of all energy chakras can ensure one's good health and improve the overall way of living. This is how you do it. This is how you chant. specific. I had to put this all down, so we really got an understanding for people. So you can start this now. After the show, you can go do this. I'm going to put a link to the ones that I use, to the one I'm actually specifically speaking of.
On YouTube? From YouTube?
Yeah, I'm going to put the link up after the show.
All right.
Sit with your back upright. Close your eyes. Breathe in a relaxed and slow manner. Chant the mantra simultaneously while doing all this stuff, right? Try to get your rhythm of chanting the mantra in tune with the rhythm of your breathing. Meditating upon the image of the Lord Shiva in your mind will help you a great deal. What does Shiva look like?
He's blue.
He's blue. He's good looking, right?
Yes.
He wears
beautiful.
His hair up in the bun. He's got the 2 little snakes around his neck.
Yeah, he's got 6 arms.
He's got 6 arms. He sits with a little thing over his front, like what is that called?
Like a loincloth.
Like a loincloth, right? And he's carrying beads. He's got the little trident.
He's got the mala beads like you have.
Right. So now there's your description of him. Go do it. This is how they teach me. Just like that.
Oh yeah. Well, that's how you do it. You just try it, and then if that doesn't work, you try something else.
Right. So, doing this, if you want to reveal more of this specific entity and what he does, he's the overseer. I asked him, "Are you the destroyer? Are you here to destroy us?" And the answer I had was, "Why would I destroy you? I love you." I said, "Well, you're not God, but you're a creator God." And he's like, "So are you. And stop using the word creator God." I said, "Deity?" He goes, "Just Shiva will work. It doesn't have to be Lord Shiva or..." Listen, you guys have to remember this. Please remember this while you're breathing and doing this. If any being or entity appears, there is absolutely no bowing, right? Like if you want to nod, you keep your eyes on said subject, said being, and you could tilt your head down a little bit and nod in respect. Don't take your eyes off the being and do not get on your knees. You will have a completely weird experience. If the being doesn't slap you because it's a being of the light and it just decides to, nope, not working with you, you don't seem to get it. That's why the bow to Shiva in that definition had to be fixed a little bit.
Reverence, because there's no...
He doesn't want you to do that.
Yeah, there's no worship.
The worship is in the respect.
It's respect and adoration.
Yeah, look, if you're doing the right stuff, it's like he has a purpose in his job.
Yeah.
If it's running smoothly, it's just better.
Everything's great.
Right? Everything's now for the destroyer part, I wanted specifics from him.
Yeah.
And I say him because it was him. I know there's the female versions. There's so much to him. I said, "So you're going to destroy me? I mean, I see that you have the trident, right? So are you going to use that and stab me up or something?" Are you, I was curious, and he just looked right in the eyes and said, "I am the destruction of the old knowledge and the old ways." So I said, "So you're not going to..." He goes, "Look, if there's a giant wind and it comes and it destroys everything, that's not me, right? But if you're tired of being the old you and you get up and do something about it, start taking responsibility for yourself, I'm right there helping you clean out the closet." Right? And your Om Nah Shiva is just lighting up your chakra system, getting it started. It actually, this is funny, has nothing to do with him. You're saying the Om Nah Shiva is it.
Yes.
You don't even have to believe in him. You do it, it'll work. It's the tones. They're teaching you with words and tones the magic.
How to change your frequency and your vibration.
This is what they're doing. This is the big magic that everybody's like, "Whoa, we're not going to tell them." Right. Freemasonry rocks up at the higher levels.
Right. That's it. You just start meditating, and you see where it takes you from there. Not everyone's going to meditate and see deities and non-human entities, but you'll get a clearer picture of what is real and what is not real. It took me
100 times to do what I did last night working with you. I've been practicing my focus, right? So 100 times I failed, never worked, never once. I thought nope, didn't work. I'm in super focused time. Here it goes. Didn't work. Very casually last night it worked. And they said to me, remember this, and it's going to work. Because I said, will this work all the time, or is this like something you're just showing me? And they were like, nope. I go, well, could I get this in full color all day, all night? They said, yep. First, you have to keep the frequency that you're in right now. Hold it. It is so difficult to do, but not really. It's like once you do it like 2 or 3 times, like the first 2 times, it's like a headache. Then that's a little frustrating. I can only do it for a minute, maybe a few seconds. And then it just goes the next time. And you're like, oh, I've done this before. I could do that. And then you're in that mode. Right. And then like the 4th and 5th time, you're just getting up and going to watch this. But there's no one there to say, this is a personal experience. But you're going to do that to yourself. And you're going to get results. It's very, very important. Meditation is the highest part of the key, because not all of you are going to run out and do ayahuasca or smoke DMT. You're not going to have the ability to do that, but you can do this. And we're going to go over a whole bunch of these different ways to tap in, see, experience.
Yeah, different modalities.
Yes. I want to go over the third eye chakra, because now that
no, it totally fits.
Everything is fitting into line tonight.
I know, it's just dropping into place.
The third eye. The chakra is governed by the 5th ray of the concrete knowledge. Our intuition and our ability to see with vision comes from here. It is the center of divine wisdom, the spiritual eye that seeks to see and know the truth in all things. From the 6th of the 7 chakra symbols, we close our physical eyes and look at the world from all aspects of self. Our intuition becomes our guide. A healthy third eye gives us the power to perceive every reflection from the outer world as a direct call for us to accept it as ours, heal, and love it. Blocks in the chakra cause us to become delusional, unimaginative, indifferent, and to have poor memories. Worry is a big problem. You're spaced out, and poor concentration also plague a person with a sick third eye chakra. So ask yourself these questions. Do you trust your intuition? Can you let your imagination soar and visualize? Do you constantly justify and give reasons for acting without love? Do you have insight as to what is happening in any situation? Do you have difficulty concentrating? Your health issues would be headaches, eye problems, pituitary and pineal glands, and neurological problems. Balance the physical and the mental. Each one of these I read over. I try to do it every week or so.
Yeah, but it always works with the story.
For some reason, it fits.
Yeah, it fits perfectly.
This is all important. This is the base layer of stuff that you're not going to absorb because you're not taking ayahuasca and just sitting there and going, and it just absorbs into you, and you're like, oh, I remember all this stuff now.
Yeah, no, Shiva worked with me. I wasn't on anything.
Shiva's always around.
Working together. I didn't know it was Shiva that you told me. You were translating for me, and I feel like I closed out a lot of my karma by closing out a lot of my contracts. I don't know if they were from previous lives or this life, or it doesn't really matter. Frank saw Shiva just with looms and looms of paper. It was funny. I never seen him do anything but explain things to me, and then I came home, was looking at you, and you were very. You know when someone has enough and they become indifferent? That's kind of where this was going. I thought I was having like a little mini nervous breakdown that night.
And what I saw was Shiva standing in front of you with a scroll that he was holding in every hand, and it was so wild to me. And he said, see, this is why I'm here. And you were signing off on your contracts, like I finished this.
I truly felt it. It was definitely a very spiritual experience I was having. It was so spiritual that it became physical. I thought I was really having a breakdown,
right?
But it ended up being a breakthrough. And then once I broke through, I felt so light and so removed from like any burden that was on me had been removed, and it was just a beautiful experience. But Frank, was fortunate enough to physically see it, and he said I never saw Shiva do anything. He was actually doing something this time. It's a joke, it's a joke with us, but yeah, he physically helped me through clearing some of my karma. That's what I think I was doing.
And he was also the overseer of your chakra systems.
Yeah.
Specifically your throat.
Yeah, definitely. I was having an issue with communication. Definitely.
And it's funny that he's the same color. It all works out.
Yeah.
Right? Look, we're both wearing different shades of blue. And neither one of us, I mean, I know this is so you guys could be like, oh, it's so random.
We were walking around for hours.
Yeah, we didn't notice nothing. And then I sat down. I said, oh, look, we're all wearing blue. There's reasons. What does the color blue, do you think, do? I know what it does for me.
Oh, it calms me, the color blue, and I feel like it pulls me right in. It centers me, focuses me.
It's like the water that's poured over your head that allows the connection to become strong. It also protects you and soothes you.
Yeah.
Right. Remember, blue is the color of protection. Green protects you. Always travel green first through your heart. Your heart chakra should be wide open, green spewing from your chest, while purple and the other colors straight down are shining and blasting through your chest. If let's say your crown chakra is open and nothing else is open, or they all have blockages one way or another, they're open a little bit, you might be getting intense headaches. You'll feel like you can hear everyone, and there's nothing you can do to get away. And especially if you live in a city or a town where there's Wi-Fi everywhere and people talking. We're in the Bronx. You can't get away from any. I walk outside at 4 o'clock in the morning and think I'm going to get away with something and no one's going to see me.
No.
There is someone hanging out like, yo, bro, what's up, bro? What's up, man? What you doing? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You got a cigarette? And it's like, wait, hold up. What are you doing out?
Yeah, you're never alone here. You're never alone.
I'm so happy to share this information with you guys because it's so important. I was having a rough eye experience one night, and I was hyperventilating. Yes. It was just so intense. I remember seeing the worry on your face that there's nothing I can do. I fell on the floor, just laid like with my knees and my elbows, and I started saying, Om Namah Shiva, Om Namah Shiva, Om Namah Shiva, until I was able to get up. He actually showed up. All he did was put his hands behind me and say, it'll be all right. He couldn't interfere with what was happening to me. No. Next week, I'm probably going to tell you what happened to me, that I had to call him there and hyperventilate and have Paula help me. One experience after the other, I'm breaking through their walls, their deception, and I'm going to report on every little thing that I see, and I'm not going to put a belief system behind it. What I'm going to do is show how it works. Perhaps we can dissect this all together as a team, because we have a team here.
Oh, yeah.
And
we have a really cool team.
We have teams that extend where it's just Paul and myself, and then it busts out to Christy. We have shout-outs to Josh, Jody, Zed. Like we have a crew, then Chris, Cherie, and all different levels. We're all working at all different things and helping each other. So don't think you're alone. If you need the help, research, reach out. Don't be so stuck in your belief system. Like, no, it was this. It's like, yo, I understand it, but
yeah, you have to
sometimes
be able to expand your mind a little.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to step back from what they tell you and show you, and because you won't understand, they'll have you going out and getting, a 3 months of storable food the next day and clean water. And then no meteor will hit. This is why I never talk about that stuff. They'll show it to me, and then I'll get scared and go, I actually did this. I went and got storable food, and then I got the water filter. And I said, when is it going to happen? Oh, nothing happened. It was weeks later. And they're like, well, how do you feel? I feel great. They're like, you feel nice and safe? I go, yeah, I'm protected. Well, I have food, and I have fresh water every day. And then I started laughing, and they said, job well done. I said, well, is it coming or not? They're like, don't worry about it.
It doesn't matter whether it comes.
You're going to be
safeness.
You have to be in the moment.
you needed to achieve the feeling of being safe.
If you're always worried about the meteor hitting, you're never actually going to get anything accomplished, and your fear is going to be fed on by this hierarchy of animals that are keeping you this way. I can't explain it any simpler. It's crazy hierarchy.
Yeah, you have to change the way you think.
We have humans that are holding humans down. We have lizards that are holding humans down. We have AI that's holding lizards down. We have archons that hold down AI that holds down lizards. We have greys that are working. We have mantises just staring at us. We have every different being that you can possibly imagine, every ratio of percentages of DNA in them. And guess what? We're the little beings out there, the ones with the soft skin that have the creative ability of the true source, or what you would say is God.
So none of that matters.
So yeah, none of it matters. It doesn't matter who you are. You know why? Because I'm me.
Yeah.
You know who I am?
Free will.
This is why it's so important to learn this, and then just highly respect one another. You don't have to like it. Everyone's on a different level. You just don't have to go out and disrespect it. You don't have to destroy it and step on it unless it's destructive and evil within itself.
Exactly. That's what I did.
If it's not encroaching on you, and it
hurt my feelings to be laughed at, but I can't
stand in the pocket.
I can't
smile, be like it's all right. Yeah, you never had that really happen like that.
No, that never happened to me before.
As a hip hop artist, I've had, hey buddy, you suck, and I got to stand right there online with people. Or I hate you.
No, but I can't expect everyone to believe what I believe. This is why we talk where we talk. We talk here because this is an open forum for this.
Yeah, this isn't like we're building you a structure to see. Not telling you, follow me in a blind belief system.
No, we're just telling you, this stuff happens. It's out there. It happens every day. We're not ramming it down anyone's throat. You don't like it, don't listen. You don't like it, don't post anything.
Take away.
That's it. Take away what you need. You may listen for an hour, and one sentence may make sense to you. Because everyone's having their own experiences now. But we need to put our faith into something. Because whatever is coming, whenever it does come, religion is going to divide people, political events are going to divide people, and we're going to need to stick
race
to what we believe.
Is going to divide. They're trying to divide us on every level. How about this? We're all from the light, right? So all light beings stick together. We're all team human. You know why? Because when Mother Earth decides to shake you off because you're not paying attention, it's going to be your fault. Those who didn't put any thought in it, well, I'm too busy. Well, yeah, you're too busy. What, to be awesome to yourself? To be a better person to the people around you? You can't worry about if Trump or Hillary is going to do it for you guys. Just get it out of your head. It's bad. They're not going to take responsibility for anything. They're just going to take you for a ride, and in the end, you're going to be alone. So it's enough. It's time to take self-responsibility and just step up to the plate. It starts with you. You do it and then show others. Don't tell others, like, you have to do this because you need this. That didn't work for me either. I tell people, like, maybe I is not the best for you. I don't even want to work with people no more after people lying to me constantly about medications and nonsense that they're doing. It's lie after lie after lie. You have to have a strong internal compass. Get up off your knees and act like a human again. The dollhouse effect, I keep putting it up. I never talk about it. We had an experience and I was screaming about Shiva. And I said, hey, you don't ever come out when I'm under. You're always there when I'm not under. And he's like, oh, you want to see me? And you push the issue. They respond. He tore what looked like the top of the apartment off and was looking in with all the other deities. I stood up while I was under and was like, are you serious? What is going on? They said, oh, you still got to learn where you are. We're all looking in at one another.